Now, what happened to Shirley and Janice?
I think they went home. I think they got sick.
Did they say they were sick?
They just left. All I did was, I just said, hi.
And they just left. I see. Well, will someone please remind them about the rehearsals? The next four Wednesdays after school. Plan to be there. Everybody.
What if we get sick?
You won't get sick, Albert. Mary and Joseph must come to every rehearsal.
What if they get sick?
They won't get sick either, Albert.
But Shirley got sick and we didn't even start yet.
You know that Shirley got sick. Now, I want you all to think about Mary and what kind of a person she was. She was kind and gentle and sweet, and a girl who plays her should be that kind of a person. Who would like to volunteer? Yes, Auntie Jean, do you have a question?
No. I want to be married. And, Ralph over there, he wants to be Joseph.
Yeah, right.
I see. Well, I'll just write that down. Now, Ralph has volunteered to be Joseph. Would any of you shepherds like to be Joseph? Elmer, did you raise your hand?
No.
Very well. He is our Joseph. Now, Imogene has volunteered to be Mary. Would any of you girls like to be married? Maxine? Beth? Alice?
No, I don't want to.
I'll be married. Be quiet, Gladys. I'm already married. You be a wise man.
Well, wise men are usually boys, but of course...
I'll be a wise man. Me too. Well, I can be too.
What's a wise man?
Just raise your hand. What's left to be?
Some angels.
I'll be that. What is it?
It's the angel of the Lord who visits the shepherds in the fields and tells them that Jesus is born. There, we do have some volunteers after all. Yes, David, would you like to be a wise man?
I can't be a shepherd. My mom said not to.
Why not?
I don't know. She just said,
Don't be a shepherd.
I'm not going to be a shepherd.
Oh, yes, you are. What's the matter with all of you?
Bless her, it hits too hard.
Anybody. The angel of the Lord just visits the shepherds in the fields and tells them that Jesus is born.
It hits them.
That's ridiculous, Elmer, and I don't want to hear another word about it from any of you. No shepherds may quit or get sick. Now that's all for today, boys and girls. You can go. I expect to see everyone here at 6:30 on Wednesday. What's the matter with you, Alice? Why in the world didn't you raise your hand?
I don't know.
You don't know, Alice? I expected you.
This is Bradley.
Don't you
He's
want
not
to?
talking to me. This is Bradley. Oh, come on, Alice. I don't know.
I didn't dare raise my hand. Imogene would have killed me. She said, I'm going to be married in this play, and if you raise your hand or open your mouth, you'll wish you didn't. And I said, I'm always married in a Christmas pageant. And she said, go ahead then. And next spring, when the pussy willow comes out, I'll stick the pussy willow so far down your ear that nobody can reach it. And it'll grow there and sprout. And you'll spend the rest of your life with the pussy willow growing out of your ear.
You know she wouldn't do that.
She would too. Herdmans will do anything. Just watch. They'll do something terrible and ruin this whole play, and it's all your mother's fault.
Jen, Edna McCarthy, did you hear? It must be Grace's fault. Somehow. How would the six of them end up in a Christmas pageant? Why, they ought to be in jail.
Vera, Ernest Loco. I just heard that Imogene Herman's going to be married in the Christmas pageant. And is that a fact? All six of them. Vera, I live next door to that outfit, and I'd rather live next door to a zoo. Has Grace gone crazy?
Where did they come from? Who let them in? Imogene Herman? What kind of child is that to be the mother of Jesus? Where was Reverend Hopkins? I'd like to know. He was what? Visiting shut-ins? Well, I'm shut in, and he wasn't visiting me.
I say, why don't you let them hand out programs at the door? Grace says we never have programs at the door. But I say,
Better nail down the
What was the matter with Grace? Couldn't she send him away, tell him to go home? Oh, I feel responsible. If I'd been up and around, this never would have happened.
If I'd been up and around, this never would have happened. Well, let me tell you.
Don't tell me I'm on your side. The car is over there.
Helen Armstrong is not the only woman alive who can direct a Christmas pageant, and I plan to do my best I could under the circumstances. And now, I'm going to make this the best Christmas pageant we ever had, with the Herdmans. And besides, they're the only ones who raise their hands, and I don't care.
Good for you, Grace. The car is over there.
And you're going to help me.
Does that mean?
You have to go.
All right, you chipmunks. Ready to sing your song?
I'll sing, Bjorn. Yeah, let's sing now.
Okay, Simon?
Okay.
Okay, Theodore?
Okay.
Okay, Alvin? Alvin? Alvin!
Okay. Christmas,
The inn is back here on stage, and the shepherds come in and gather around the manger.
Where do the shepherds come from, anyway?
What's an inn?
It's like a motel where people go to spend the night.
What people? Jesus?
Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph were there. Why?
To pay their taxes.
At a motel? Be quiet, Ollie. Everybody, be quiet. I want to hear her. Begin at the beginning.
The beginning.
The beginning of the play. What happens first?
I'm Pageant. This is the Christmas story from the Bible. Haven't you ever heard the Christmas story from the Bible? Well, that's what this Christmas pageant is, so I'd better read it to you.
I don't believe that. Do you? That they've never heard the Christmas story?
Why not? They don't even know what a Bible is, and they've never been to church in their whole lives. So your dumb brother told them we got refreshments.
All right now, a decree went out from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went up with Mary his wife, being great with child.
Pregnant! She was pregnant!
All know that Mary was pregnant. And it came to pass.
I don't think it's very
that
nice to say
that
Mary
she
was
should
pregnant.
be
Well, she was. I don't think your mother should say Mary was pregnant. It's better to say great with child. I'm not supposed to talk about people being pregnant, especially in church.
My goodness! Didn't have room for Jesus?
Well, they didn't know that the baby was going to be Jesus.
Didn't Mary know? Didn't he know? What was the matter with Joseph? Then he didn't tell them. Her pregnant and everything. What's a manger? Some kind of bed?
Well, they didn't have a bed in the barn, so they had to use something else. What would you do if you had no baby and nowhere to put it?
We put Gladys in a dresser drawer.
Well, there you go. You didn't have a bed for Gladys, so you had to use something else.
Oh, we had a bed, only Ollie was still in it, and he didn't get out. He didn't like Gladys. Remember, he didn't like Gladys.
That's what it's going to be calling on to like Gladys right off the bat.
Anyway, a major small feeding trough for animals. What were the wadded up clothes? The what? In there, it says you wrapped them up in wadded up clothes. Swaddling clothes. People used to wrap babies up very tightly in big meat pieces of material to make them feel cozy.
You mean they tied him up and put him in a feed box? Where was the child welfare?
Child welfare's at our house every 5 minutes.
There wasn't any child welfare in Bethlehem.
I'll say there wasn't.
And there were wise men watching their flocks by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them in the glory of...
Shazam!
What?
Out of the black night, horrible vengeance, the mighty Marvo.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Gladys.
The mighty Marvo, in Amazing Comics, out of the black night, horrible vengeance.
Gladys, this is the angel of the Lord who visits the shepherds in the field and tells them that Jesus is born.
Out of nowhere, right? In the black night, right?
Well, in a way.
Shazam!
And there were wise men who came from the east, bearing gifts of frankincense, gold, and myrrh.
Who's that?
They were precious things like spices and oil.
Oil? What kind of present is oil? We get better presents from the welfare.
Were they the welfare? The wise men?
Well, in a way, they were kings.
It's about time somebody important showed up. If they're kings, they can get the baby out of the barn and tell the innkeeper innkeeper where to get off.
Well, they were sent by Herod, who, well, he was the main king, and he wanted to have Jesus put to death.
My goodness! He just got born. They're gonna kill a baby.
Who's Herod in this play?
Herod isn't in the play.
He's out to kill the baby, and he isn't even in the play?
Well, somebody better be Herod.
Yeah.
Let Charlie be Herod. And he said, go get me that baby. And they say, okay, because he's a king and all.
But then they don't do it. They go back and get Herod.
There's no Herod.
I'm not going to be Herod.
And then Joseph gets the shepherds together, and then what the Herod? There's no Herod.
And I run away with the baby until the fight's over.
Somebody ought to take care of the innkeeper. Gladys, you ought to have the innkeeper.
I can't. I'm an angel.
Well, I wouldn't be sitting around out in the barn. I'd go get a room.
She said there wasn't any room.
Then I'd throw somebody out. I told them, I've got this baby and it's the middle of winter. So either get out or move over.
I'd go after old Herod.
I'd send the angel after him. She could just point her electric finger out and turn him into a pile of ash.
Yeah, that. What's the name of this play? She never said.
Christmas pageant.
That's no name. That's what it is. I know a name. I know a name. I call it Revenge at Bethlehem.
Yeah!
Revenge at Bethlehem? The herdmen of the Christmas story came right out of the FBI files. At least they picked out the right villain. It was Herod they wanted to gang up on, and not the baby Jesus. But the baby Jesus quit the pageant anyway. It was supposed to be Eugene Slocum, but Miss Slocum said she wasn't going to let Imogen Herdman get her hands on him. So we didn't have a baby for this pageant, and that bothered my mother. She kept trying to scratch up a baby, even at the last rehearsal. What'd you keep writing in that book?
It's like a diary.
It is not. It's all about the herdman. Imogen curses and swears all the time. Ralph talks about gross things. Mrs. Bradley called Mary pregnant. Gladys Herdman drinks communion wine. It isn't wine, it's grape juice.
I don't care what it is. She drinks it. I've seen her 3 times with her mouth all purple. They steal too. If you shake the birthday cake, it doesn't make a sound because they stole the pennies out of it.
And you wrote all this down? What for?
For my mother and Reverend Tompkins and the Ladies' Aid Society and anybody else who wants to know what happened when the whole Christmas pageant turned out to be a big mess.
Come on, Beth. Alice, let's go sit down so we can get started. Today we are going to, well,
I just wanted to tell you we're all in the back in the kitchen making applesauce cakes. We'll try not to bother you. I guess this is your dress rehearsal.
it's supposed to be. Oh, and didn't I hear that your niece had a baby a month or so ago? A little girl?
Yes, 5 weeks old. And?
Well, I was wondering if we could borrow her.
Grace, no, I couldn't make up a lie and tell you that the baby's sick or cranky. But the truth is she is perfectly healthy and beautiful. And we all want her to stay that way. So we're certainly not going to hand her off to